We are kicking things off right now with major lineup shakeups in Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Dodgers are rolling with a completely different strategy for their series finale against the Atlanta Braves this Sunday. Outfielder Andy Pages is moving up to the number 3 spot in the order, while Kyle Tucker takes over as the cleanup hitter. We break down exactly how this new configuration is setting up the Dodgers for a potential victory against the Braves.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
Next up, we look at some serious veteran struggles. Teoscar Hernandez is facing a tough stretch, posting an underwhelming .614 ops in May and struggling to find the long ball. We dive into the statistics showing how Hernandez has been walking nearly 10% of the time and facing a high strikeout rate, and what this means for his role moving forward. Now, let's talk about pitching depth and defensive changes. Dalton Rushing is getting another chance to start as the catcher, stepping in for Will Smith, who is taking the day off. We examine Rushing's impressive slash line and how this shift in the catching position impacts the overall defense and pitching rotation for the Dodgers. Finally, we settle the big debate, the Matt Olson versus Freddie Freeman story. The comparison between the two first basemen is heating up, and we explore the shifting narrative as Matt Olson takes over as the primary first baseman in the national conversation. Don't miss the full breakdown of what this means for both the Braves and the Dodgers. Stay tuned right here. The Los Angeles Dodgers are implementing a significant lineup adjustment for their series finale against the Atlanta Braves on Sunday, May 10. Outfielder Andy Pages will be elevated to the number 3 spot in the batting order, shifting the offensive structure for the crucial matchup. Kyle Tucker is slated to hit cleanup, while Shohei Ohtani remains in the leadoff position, followed by Freddie Freeman. Manager Dave Roberts is providing a day off for outfielder Teoscar Hernandez, with catcher Will Smith also resting. Alex Call will start at left field to replace Hernandez, and Dalton Rushing will take the starting role behind the plate. The projected lineup for the series finale is as follows: Shohei Ohtani as designated hitter, Freddie Freeman at first base, Andy Pages at center field, Kyle Tucker at right field, M. Muncy at third base, Alex Call at left field, Dalton Rushing at catcher, H. Kim at shortstop, and A. Freeland at second base, with J. Robalski pitching. This lineup change follows recent developments surrounding the team's roster and performance. Andy Pages has experienced a significant hot streak, posting a 1.175 ops in May and hitting 9 home runs this season, demonstrating a strong offensive resurgence despite previously batting in the bottom half of the order. Conversely, Teoscar Hernandez has shown an underwhelming performance in May, posting a .614 ops and struggling with contact, including a career-worst 93 WRC+ in 2026. Meanwhile, Dalton Rushing has earned increased opportunities at catcher, logging his 13th start in the position with a solid slash line, while Will Smith continues to navigate minor injuries. Legendary Atlanta Braves manager Bobby Cox has passed away at the age of 84. Cox had a storied career managing the Braves across 2 distinct periods, overseeing teams from 1978 to 1981 and again from 1990 to 2010, including guiding the team to a World Series championship in 1995. The news of his passing has prompted tributes from across the baseball community. Los Angeles Dodgers star Freddie Freeman shared a personal memory of the manager. Freeman recalled a moment from 2017 spring training when he was 6 months old. He described seeing Hall of Famer Bobby Cox and his family at the golf clubhouse, highlighting the joy on Cox's face when he saw Freeman's infant son. Throughout his tenure, Bobby Cox was recognized for his no-nonsense approach and penchant for theatrical confrontations with umpires. Despite winning only 1 World Series during his time with the Braves, Cox cemented his legacy as one of the sport's premier managers, leaving a lasting impact on the players he coached. His influence remained evident as Atlanta secured another World Series title in 2021 following his retirement. The tributes underscore Cox's significant contribution to the franchise and the game of baseball. Mookie Betts has returned to the Los Angeles Dodgers after being activated off the injured list on Monday, concluding a 5-week absence stemming from an oblique strain. The veteran outfielder was slotted into his usual number 2 position, positioned between Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman, with the team looking to revitalize a sluggish offense. Betts expressed a grounded perspective ahead of a series against the division rival San Francisco Giants, stating, "I'm not the hero. It's going to take us all." Despite his return, Betts managed a single in 5 at-bats Monday night, and the Dodgers struggled again, losing 9-3. The Dodgers currently sit at 24-17 in the National League West, trailing the first-place San Diego Padres. The team has faced challenges this month, with Will Smith, Teoscar Hernandez, and Ohtani all struggling. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts expressed cautious optimism about Betts' immediate impact, saying, "I think with Mookie, you just don't know, so the hope is that he can kind of hit the ground running." Betts' activation prompted a roster move, with infield prospect Alex Freeland being sent down. Roberts described the decision as difficult, noting that Hye-Seong Kim outperformed Freeland in recent appearances. Veteran Santiago Espinal will remain the backup, allowing Freeland more development time in AAA. Betts is expected to gradually reintroduce himself to regular play, with a potential day off on Wednesday and another on Saturday before taking on an everyday role at shortstop. Regarding his absence, Betts clarified that the delay was not due to a setback, explaining, "I just didn't really realize how long it takes for it to really heal. I felt pretty good pretty fast, actually, but just some of the movements that I couldn't do, they kind of just lingered for a long time. I was trying to hurry, but obviously doctors are like, it just takes this long for it to heal." The intense fan debate surrounding Matt Olson versus Freddie Freeman in the Atlanta Braves organization has reached a pivotal turning point. Following the acquisition of Matt Olson in March 2022, the comparison between the two first basemen fueled significant criticism for 4 seasons, with some fans focusing on the front office's decision not to re-sign Olson or simply preferring Freeman. However, the narrative appears to be shifting as the Braves enter their 5th year together. Statistically, the comparison has yielded mixed results. Over the period from 2022 to 2025, Freddie Freeman amassed 22.2 FWAR, compared to Matt Olson's 17.1 FWAR, with no other first baseman exceeding 14.7 FWAR during that span. Freeman was undeniably the superior first baseman, earning All-Star nods each of his first 5 seasons and finishing top 5 in MVP voting. Conversely, Olson has built a strong case for himself, securing 2 All-Star appearances, a Silver Slugger, a Gold Glove, and finishing 4th in the 2023 NL MVP voting. Despite his stellar performance, Olson faced persistent criticism from segments of the Braves online simply because he was not Freeman. The dynamic fundamentally changed in 2026. Even after a series where Freeman hit a home run against the Braves, the focus shifted away from Olson being Alex Anthopoulos' biggest mistake. In the series played in Los Angeles, Olson was highlighted as the best first baseman, demonstrating dominance, particularly in the National League. Olson's statistical profile is now arguably superior, boasting the most FWAR among first basemen, the second highest slugging percentage behind Ben Rice, and the second most home runs, trailing only Munetaka Murakami. His defensive metrics are also outstanding, tying for first in defensive runs saved, DRS, among first basemen, and ranking second in outfield adjusted approach, OAA. Meanwhile, Freddie Freeman, 37, has experienced a noticeable regression in Los Angeles. His .772 OPS was the lowest of his career outside of a 2010 highlight, and his performance against Atlanta was muted, with only 1 hit in a 110 series. With Freeman entering his 5th year of a 6-year contract and publicly expressing a desire to retire as a Dodger, this year's dip in form could complicate extension talks for the team. In contrast, Olson is positioning himself for an MVP discussion, and Braves fans are optimistic about the 32-year-old's remaining tenure with the club, viewing him as a valuable asset for the future.